Sir, do you think it's appropriate for a sitting member of Congress to call the U.S. one of the worst countries in the world?
No, and I think she should go back to where she came from. Look, Ilhan Omar shows everything that's wrong with our refugee policy. We let people into this country who hate it. We make them citizens. They get elected to Congress, and now they fight against us. It's repulsive, to be honest, and it's a disgrace that she serves in the U.S. House of Representatives.
I don't understand how the Democrats can keep her in the party. I mean, she's at odds with Israel and with Jewish people in general. How come she's still in the party?
Well, she's not an outlier. Many of them believe in what she believes. Look at these people acting like fools as ICE is simply trying to get criminal illegal immigrants out of our country that cost us billions of dollars a year, and they're throwing their bodies in the tracks. These people don't care about Americans. And that's why we're so lucky we have President Trump, who makes Americans his number one goal from the moment he wakes up until the moment he goes to bed. You could just see it and how excited he was to be putting American flags out at the White House today.
Congressman Randy Fine, thanks for joining us. I'm sorry it was so short, but the president ran over. You know how that goes. Randy Fine, you're all right? Thanks for joining us, sir. Appreciate it.
Any type of facilitation, that was...
Good, you're done too. Next, 30 seconds.
Yeah, 30 seconds is disgusting.
Yeah, well, yeah. Come on up. Enjoy your terrorist rag. Come on, let's go. You're next. Come on. What's your name? I'm the chairman. I can say what I want. If you don't like it, you can leave.
The guy calling that a terrorist rag is Randy Fine. He's a Trump-endorsed, extremely online far-right troll who has spent his short time in Congress launching a similar barrage of sort of predictably disgusting and bigoted statements.
Right wing on the right wing. Freshman Congressman Randy Fine has found a way to make a name for himself since taking office in April of this year, and it's good old-fashioned racism. This is the kind of behavior that you expect from the right wing when they prioritize trolling people over anything actually substantive. But let's hear more from the Honorable Congressman.
When Congresswoman Ilhan Omar criticized Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, Fine responded on social media telling her, quote, "I'm sure it is difficult to see us welcome the killer of so many of your fellow Muslim terrorists." When Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries demanded Fine apologize, he wrote, quote, "The Hamas caucus is upset. Boo-hoo." Fine has repeatedly called Omar and her colleague Rashida Tlaib and New York mayoral candidate Zohran Mamdani Muslim terrorists. He said, quote, "Mamdani would do to New York City what Khomeini and Khamenei did to Tehran. We cannot let radical Muslims turn America into a Shiite caliphate."
I do want to talk to you about some of the rhetoric, because there's a lot of talk about rhetoric and how this gins people up. A few years ago, you were called out for calling a school board member a whore in a text. You've called one of your congressional colleagues a terrorist. Are you part of the problem here?
I think we've heard this discussion about taking down the temperature after President Trump was assassinated twice, and I don't think people are getting the message. So this is
Are you
real.
not getting the message
it's a concern,
too?
and we all have to
be
do our
fair,
part.
is it fair to say that the way that you speak to your colleagues, what you say about them, and the fiery rhetoric that you also use is also an issue that you're thinking about maybe changing?
It's a fair point, but I think fiery rhetoric is different than a call for violence. Calling evil for what it is, calling danger for what it is acceptable. It's when you cross that line and you say, "and that person should be killed." That's never a line that I've crossed, nor do I think it should be done. But we saw that kind of rhetoric just on Saturday at these protests, and I think that is a problem. We've seen it repeatedly with President Trump for years, and I do think it's a problem. And the problem is these people are crazy. This guy in Minnesota, he's going to turn out to be crazy. And when crazy people hear these things, these problems do well up.
You know, it's hard for me to be surprised by politicians like this from the party of the Southern strategy. But even in that context, Randy Fine seems to be in a league of his own. You know, he's not like Marjorie Taylor Greene or James Comer. This man is a Harvard-educated career politician. He's no dummy. He's using rhetoric like this disgusting Islamophobia because he thinks it's going to work. He thinks he's going to gain a following among the right wing. And to some extent, he's not incorrect. It did get him elected to Congress, but not without significant backlash.
I was worried. I thought you were making a run for it because you're afraid that Ilhan Omar is going to come and whoop your hiney.
Well, look, there are 2 Muslim terrorists that have gone to prison for making death threats against me, and so I'm sort of used to it.
Now, you know your language, and you are suggesting that a member of Congress is a terrorist. Is that really what you want to communicate?
I think terrorism, there are extremes. I believe that when someone blocks the road and keeps a pregnant woman from getting to the hospital, that's a form of terrorism. They're not all the same. It's not the same as blowing yourself up. But I believe that when you adopt the policies that Ilhan Omar has adopted, when you support Hamas in the way that she has, you're supporting terrorism. And the people who are in Qatar running Hamas, they aren't blowing anything up, but they're still terrorists. And so, yes, I believe that she supports Muslim terror. And I think if you support Muslim terror, you're a Muslim terrorist.
What do you make of Hakeem Jeffries' suggestion that you owe an apology?
Well, I think it's disgusting. I mean, he called me a racist. I didn't say anything racial at all. And frankly, that whole comment is racial. I mean, most Muslims aren't black.
Muslims aren't black, so therefore I cannot be racist. I don't know if that tracks. You know, and I take back what I said earlier about this man not being a dummy. Yeah, I never understood why people who say such blatant and viscerally racist things recurringly have such a hard time when people call them a racist. I mean, you're racist. Get over it. Own it, even. Have courage in it. Don't throw rocks and hide your hand. You are racist. Wear it like a badge, just like you wear your Islamophobia around. But if you think that his hatred for Muslims was subtle in these previous clips, check him out on Fox News.
The only end of the conflict is complete and total surrender by those who support Muslim terror. In World War II, we did not negotiate a surrender with the Nazis. We did not negotiate a surrender with the Japanese. We nuked the Japanese twice in order to get unconditional surrender. That needs to be the same here. There is something deeply, deeply wrong with this culture, and it needs to be defeated.
Let's nuke the Palestinians in Gaza just like we did the Japanese. They're evil by their very nature, just like all Muslims around this planet. Nothing racist there. You know, this man fundamentally does not value human life if it doesn't look like him. Muslims, both foreign and domestic, their lives are worth absolutely nothing to him. But the violent rhetoric does not stop there.
He's also said protesters blocking roads is an act of terror. Quote, in Florida, I helped to pass a bill to allow you to run them over. Now I'm taking it national. The Thump Thump Act is coming.
This man believes that it should be legal to run over and presumably kill humanitarian protesters in America. He refers to his Muslim colleagues in Congress as terrorists. You know, I have many Republican friends that are not racist. In fact, they're shocked at the notion that people would find them and the Republican Party racist. They can't believe it. And they're saddened by that fact. But on the other hand, they keep electing crazy people like this man, Martin Luther Green, and the cantaloupe calf guy. Stop electing racists, Republicans. Stop electing people who delight in the suffering of others, who think it's perfectly acceptable to bomb an entire nation worth of people and run over people in the streets provided that they're not white. Is it too much to ask that you find good, decent folks who are fiscally conservative or in whatever else nonsense you guys believe that aren't absolute garbage? I mean, those people exist. Stop electing crazy people.